everybody. We're gonna do apple cider donuts fried. So the first thing you need to do is get 1.5 cups of real apple cider. And you're gonna cook this down till it comes to a 1/3 cup. You're gonna cook it for about 20 minutes on medium. And then it needs to cool. And I'll get mine started and then I'll be back with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so I have 1.5 cups of apple cider and put it on the stove at medium for about 15 to 20 minutes. You want it to cook down. Okay, then you're gonna need 2 eggs at room temperature, and you're also gonna need 5 tablespoons of butter at room temp. You're gonna have sugar, flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda, ground cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, a cup of buttermilk, and some vanilla. So I'm gonna get all my stuff set up and then we'll begin. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is put in a bowl 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Sydney. Then you need a teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So baking powder, you need 2 teaspoons. And then you need a teaspoon of baking soda. Then you need 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. And 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. I had to run to the store and get some. So 1/2 teaspoon. Mr. Bargie's on a roll today. 1/8 teaspoon of clove. And then you're just gonna get a whisk and whisk this all around. cider going. Okay, and set this aside. And then get your mixer out, and you're gonna use your wire attachment. So I'll get that all set up and I'll be back. Okay, now in your mixer bowl, put 5 tablespoons of butter, softened butter, in, and a cup of sugar. And get your wire attachment. And you're gonna beat this for about 5 minutes. You want it really creamy. And I'll be back. And be sure you scrape your sides. Okay, once you get that done, you need 2 eggs. Put 1 in at a time and mix it. And scrape your bowl. I should get my camera down a little. Hold on. You just want this mixed up really well. And scrape your sides and mix it again. We used to have these up in Vermont when we would go apple picking, and they would have these, and they are so good. Now you're gonna get a cup of buttermilk. And add that in. And I'll be back. I'm gonna check on my cider. Okay, you need the cider to cool down. I'm just gonna get a little tray with some ice and put it in a bowl and let it cool off for a few minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, while that's cooling, just put in a tablespoon of vanilla extract and mix that up. And I'll be back in about 5 minutes, and my cider should be cooled down. Okay, so I have my cider in a little bowl with ice, and if you can see, I have it in the freezer, and I'm just gonna keep that in there for about 5 minutes, and that'll cool it down, and then you're gonna add it to your mixer. Okay, while the cider is cooling, get a cookie sheet and and cover it with parchment paper, and you're gonna put flour on here. Okay, and just set that aside. Because once we get our dough done, we're gonna plop it on to that. And with our hands, we're gonna press it out. It's gonna be about 3/4 inch thick. So I'm just waiting on my cider. It shouldn't be much longer. Okay, my cider's ready. So just pour in your concentrated 1/3 cup of apple cider. Okay, now you're gonna add your flour mixture, a little at a time, and I'll be back. And be sure you scrape your sides of your bowl. Okay, I used about a 1/2 cup more of flour. I don't know if it's the heat or what down here. Okay, so get your cookie sheet and be sure you have a lot of flour on it. And be sure you wash your hands in really cold water and then dry them. Because you're going to be handling the dough. We don't get very cold water here in Florida. Dry your hands good, and then you're gonna flour your hands. Or plop your dough first on your cookie sheet. Get all of it I can. That smells so good. Okay, now you're gonna press this out till it comes about 3/4 of an inch thick. So flour your hands really well. Like so. And start pressing it out. And you might need more flour on your hands. Just keep pressing it out. Okay, then you're gonna cover this with plastic and you're gonna put it in the freezer for 10 minutes. trying to get mine a little bit thicker. There. So it's gonna be like that. So cover this with plastic and place it in your freezer. Oh, should have gotten more plastic today. Let's see what I got. There. Okay, so put this in your freezer. I'm gonna start getting my grease heated up in my Dutch oven. So I got this pan, and you want it at least like 3 inches deep with grease. And I'll be back in a few minutes. So in the meantime, get another cookie sheet, and you're gonna put some more parchment paper on it and dust it with flour. Because you're gonna put your cut donuts on this. And put that aside, because you're gonna need some working space here. You're gonna take about a cup of sugar and probably 2 tablespoons, maybe a little less, of ground cinnamon, and you're gonna mix them up and put it on a plate. I'm gonna start with a tablespoon of cinnamon and see where I am. Just a little bit more sugar in. So you kind of want it to look like this color. And set that aside. You're gonna have to get a rack out and some paper towels. Okay, get out your donut cutter. If you don't have one, you can either use like a glass or a mason jar rim, and either like a little shot glass to make your hole in the middle. I got this one off of Amazon. It was like $13. So we're gonna try it and see how good this one works. My grease is heating up. You want that at 375. So if you have a thermometer, use that so you don't burn your donuts. You don't want it to go over 375. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, just get a little bowl with flour in it so you can dump this in every time you make a cut. Okay, you're gonna cook these for about a minute or a minute and a half on each side. If you have the spoon with the holes in it, just put a donut on top. Like this, and drop it in. My temp is still a little too hot, but and set your timer. Now you can do 2 or 3 at a time. I'm just doing one to show you all. Okay, my grease is at 375. My kitchen smells wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna give it a minute and 30 seconds on each side. Okay, now flip it over and flip it away from you. Okay, and cook for another minute, minute and a half. And then you're gonna place this on a paper towel just for like a minute. You just kind of want to absorb some of the oil, and then we're gonna roll it in our sugar and cinnamon. Okay, that's 30 seconds. Okay. And because it's so hot down here, I just have to keep putting my dough back in the freezer. I can't wait. I told my neighbors I was gonna make this today, and they're from Massachusetts. So she's all excited, and also she supplied the apple cider for me. Okay, that looks good. So drain it off. I'm gonna have to bring you with me with the camera. Okay, put it on a paper towel. just for a few seconds. You just kind of want to get the grease there. Okay. And then flip it over. Give it another few minutes or a few seconds. And then get your cinnamon and sugar, because you want to do this while they're still warm where you can handle them, and you're going to put them on the rack. Okay. So just kind of roll them around. That's your apple cider fried donut. When this one cools, I'll come back and take a bite. And just continue doing that. I usually do just 2 at a time, just because with the paper towels and, you know, you're kind of doing a line. So, but yeah, they're really awesome. Please try the recipes, share them. I'm gonna get a couple more done, and by that time that one will be cool, and I'll come back and take a bite. Okay. Here's the donut. That is so good. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe and you share and you like, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be making apple pie with a pie crust that's made with vodka. So I hope you will tune into that, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe.